the South Queensland Sharks. All on the line here. Des Fogarty's with me again in commentary for this one. A little bit of a local derby to see who goes through to the grand final later on this afternoon.
Yeah, and I hope it's just as entertaining as the last game because that was a lot of fun. But these guys, the Sharks have come out. These two teams, I don't think they played each other. They're in opposite pools during the game, so this is the first time they're seeing each other on the field this week. And Sharks have come out with a good start. Lots of movement around the player movement. Laterally around the position just to try to get the defence to have to make decisions. But the Cobras' defence has held strong on the first set. Now they're going to work their way out.
Yeah, as you made mention, on opposite sides of the pool through the rounds, the Cobras finished first in Pool B. They are undefeated coming into this fixture, winning their quarterfinal as well last night, 14-5 over the Hunter Western Hornets. We'll see how this set unfolds for them as they turn the ball back over to the Sharks. The Sharks finished second in Pool A, 4 wins and a draw through the rounds. They won their quarterfinal last night, 9-3 over the Swans. The second semi-final taking place at the same time as this one here is the Central Queensland Bulls taking on the Sydney Scorpions. We'll get score updates throughout this match as well to let you know how that one is progressing. The Sharks with the deep ball out the back. Nice running as well coming into fifth touch for them.
Really nice depth coming out off their bench. Just not a really good finish to the set on the last touch there, but this will be a bit of an arm wrestle here for a while, I think. Just looking at the way that both teams have started up, just trying to assert a bit of dominance one way or the other.
Coming into the last now, Elias plays it, holding it in two hands. Short ball back to Natalie Elias. And the first points here in the semi-final of the 16 girls are going to go the way of the Brisbane Cobras.
And just demonstrating that I don't actually know what I'm talking about. They've come straight in and thrown a short hole. It's a beautiful little pump fake just to force just a little one there. And then that's just got the Sharks players, the link and the winger out there on that side, that right-hand side to start heading out. And then she's able to hit the short hole.
The Sharks will be looking to respond here after the restart. Cobras getting the first try on the board here in the 16 girls semi-final. They come back in towards the middle of the field with Michaela Isdale, who offloads. They will get a penalty in the South Queensland team. Tap and restart from Alex Halloran. Offloads, they attack down the short side, having a dive in at the line. They're actually going to come back for a penalty to the Brisbane Cobras. Forward pass is the call. Relieving penalty sees them come out of their end of the field. Now Elias, the try scorer for Brisbane. Cartane onto the field, gets them over the halfway line. Tenamu now picks up nice meters, last touch. Nicola again set up the first try for Brisbane, almost slicing in between the South Queensland Sharks defenders, looking quite elusive early on in this game to start this one. Charlie Nicola.
Yeah, good wheels too. She was very quick into that space. I think an early ball out to the winger, and it would have just been one-on-one out on the wing because the Sharks winger looked like she might have been on the treadmill, but closed down enough. So no options. Caught from half as the Sharks driving in hard here.
Numbers. Space. Oh, if they were able to get that one. Waimariti Takarai.
I think Crystal Mann will be being advised by her coach to call for the ball just a little bit louder, I think, because she was wide open.
And the coach is leading the charges out here for the Sharks 16 girls. Andrew Ratu, assistant coach Jay Callanan. And the coaching staff for the Brisbane Cobras, Joshua Hillman and William Burke, the assistant coach, leading their charges here in the semi-final. Ball through the hands. Takarai again. Diving in a line. Nice touch from the number 2, Cadence Cartane. Sharks now come back towards the middle of the field. And then a nice little out ball off the fingertips there, Crystal Meehan. Right idea.
Yeah, I think if that ball gets into the hands, I think she's got a red-hot shot of finishing that one off. But it's well defended by the Cobras as we're like dancing right on the edge of the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing that these girls have only got tiny feet, I reckon.
Lily Neal get into the acting half position. Pops back in. Looking to straighten up towards the back end of their set. Neal. They got numbers out here on the left-hand side, and they put the ball through their hands as well.
Good
and nice touch. Cover defence coming across there on Indiana Frawley. Good enterprising footy there from the Cobras, happy to throw the football on their last touch.
Yeah, and it's Natalia Hickling there that's got the cover defence and made the touch once her winger was beaten. Just came flying out from the middle of the field, but there's an error here coming out of their own half. They run their subs. Cobras have got the ball in a really good position here.
Looking to go 2 up on the paint away scoreboard. The Brisbane Cobras, full set of 6, attacking South Queensland Sharks. They go down the short side, incorrect, play the ball. They couldn't capitalise on the opportunity, and now they'll get muched downfield as well. Turning the ball back to the mark, I think was the call from the on-field referee.
I think she might have actually given the ref a bit of lip there, but oh, that's a really bad error. You've just earned a penalty and then an extra 10 metres and given it away through poor hands on touch 1.
So looking a bit shaky in the South Queensland team. Last 2 sets, turning the ball straight back into the Brisbane team. Nicola plays it, steps out, comes off the right foot looking for offside players, which I think she's been able to attract, but will get the penalty. They did make it back to the line eventually to make the touch, but first infringement sees a penalty go to the Brisbane team. Nicola again, this time diving in at the line.
Oh, that was close. That's a good touch. Got good feet there from the right middle.
Elias from half, dishes. Nicola's definitely got the heavy hand. Beautiful inside ball, great finish as well. Cadence Ohio Cartene has rolled over. That is good inside support play. Huge bomb coming from the midfield as well. But there was a lot of work to do on the back end of this. They set this try up. Good inside ball there. Jasmine Gin. That's a good team try there from the Cobras.
And really well coached there by the Cobras coaching staff under Joshua Hillman, because he's taken really good advantage of having somebody with a big left to right pass, and then the lines that the players have run are just absolutely spot on. There was no opportunity for the Sharks to be able to cover that one. That's really well worked try.
Up by 2 now on the paint away scoreboard, the Brisbane Cobras. Last touch for the Sharks. Across the field they go. Nice defence from Brisbane. Sliding across and entering the call. Nice defence coming up from outside in. Trying to put some defensive pressure on here, the Sharkies. As Neal picks up good meters. They'll look to continue on. They pop out. Now just realigning, resetting. They get it down outside the 7, coming into the last touch. It looks like there's players offside in the midfield from the Sharks.
Touch pass there though.
Penalty is given to South Queensland. Spot on this for the touch and pass. As Rigby restarts for South Queensland. Get itself into the acting half position. Look to put it through their hands to try and get towards their interchange area. As Isdale picks up meters down the right-hand side of the field. Playing a little bit lateral. Nice little pop-out play, though. And holding it in 2 hands. Oh, just through the inside ball. Probably didn't need to throw that one.
They still had one up their sleeve, I think, didn't they?
Yeah.
But that was beautifully worked. That pop in and then back out over the top.
It was needed as well. Didn't really see it coming. They were really lateral coming across the field, and that pop just got them back onto the front foot. Now there's space out here for the Cobras, streaking away for more points here. Cameron Bray. Well, they make them pay after again looking good in the previous set. The Sharks there, they did a good job to get themselves out of trouble, but that inside ball just gave the footy back to Brisbane. And they go down the other end with Bray, and she just rolls over the line to get the 3rd try on the board.
Yeah, and the Cobras are really showing that the hard drive coming out of their own defence and coming off the box or or any of that sort of stuff. They're really putting their heads down and driving, and as soon as they beat one defender, it just puts the defensive line in all sorts of problems, and the Sharks just aren't able to adjust and scramble enough to get themselves into a good spot as they earn a penalty here. So this is a really good opportunity for the Sharks, as they'll take a quick tap and see if they can get a cheap one, but they'll reset, reload.
Robinson attacking down the... Oof.
Maybe
to pop that one out to Crystal Meehan. A little space. And again, after we saw them chance their hand the last time around, it might not be a bad option just for them with touches up their sleeve just to work towards a set piece here. It's not going to come through the midfield for them. There's Watkins. Ball in hand. We'll receive it back. No. Incorrect. Play the ball.
Just got a body in not a really good position as she went to play the pass, and of course there's a forward pass, so the Sharks will get another opportunity, and you'll see one or two players make their way to the bench, and a couple of and another attacking player come on to try to spark something for them. Oh, that's really well defended there. I think that's Hagan on the wing.
That's two chances where they might have been able to throw that an extra pass on the left-hand side of the field. An overlap. Half available. On-field referee saying play on here. So we've seen a penalty given for Brisbane being offside, not moving forward. They've been caught short of the line yet again. And the Sharkies, they do eventually get their first points.
That is actually, that's Zara Hagan out there on the left link. It was a different player on the wing on this side. She's just not been able to get back to the line in time and then back forward off the line. The Sharks player able to dive over.
3-1 on the Payne Way scoreboard. First points in the semi-final for South Queensland. How did Brisbane respond? They respond pretty well. Yeah, Sakurai saying she did not make contact on the touch. Good honesty. But after leaking points down the other end, Cobras from the restart just gliding through South Queensland defenders with absolute ease.
And it's just off a simple switch, which was not quite picked up on the replay there, but just a simple switch, moving the body of the defender, open up just enough space, and then a little bit of a shimmy to slide through past the saving. Desperate arm reached out, and yeah, 3-try lead re-established. Cobras looking reasonably comfortable here at the moment.
Try scored by the number 7, Kaya Hillman. Who comes up and makes the touch for the Cobras. Through the hands, Summer Robinson offloads from half as they sweep down that right-hand side. No room to move there. Jacobson forced to retreat. Robinson back on the midfield. Hickling now puts it through the hands, and the ball hits the deck. Cobras, last meters on one. Now they look to put the ball through the hands. Ohio Cartane again. Good meters, scored a try earlier on for the Cobras. Louis Neal getting them on the front foot yet again. Blade plays it, last touch for them. Nice footwork, left, right. Now rips right
Good
to
ball.
left. And just caught flat-footed on the final touch, Indiana Frawley.
It was really good footwork, and then the long pass out there. But the Sharks were in good position out on that far side, and able to just mark up one-on-one, or as another error.
Yeah, loose pass, Alex Tallerin. And from the acting half position, trying to shovel that one out. As we see the South Queensland interchange area. Cobras going lateral on the first play, just getting themselves over to the interchange area. Gabrielle Blade will make her way into the sub box as changes come onto the field. Salio goes forward on the final touch for the Cobras. Tanami from half, switches, beautiful hands on the fingertips and trying to put it through.
That passing play. Oh yeah, that's good. But again, it's off a simple switch, and then they've come back in. The hit is just a little bit staggered. So what I mean is that the open side players are coming in one after another rather than as one unit, which means that they can just pass. But the last one was just not quite crisp enough. If it had been the Link would have had time to turn and pass the ball out to the open winger. And we're going to see a penalty here for a forward pass off the roll ball.
Another forward pass, and they'll restart here in Sharks territory. So under 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. 16-goal semi-final. Cobras looking the good so far, up by 3 on the Pain Away scoreboard. Players offside from the Sharks. Nice work from Elias. We've got players on the deck as well, and looking to capitalise, but they come back out on the right-hand side of the field. Final touch.
Nothing happening here, so they'll probably come back to this side just with a massive left foot step and a dive, and she's got the ball down. Nothing happening. Magic step, and Kaya Hillman has just cut the Sharks the middle of their defence and just sliced them right open.
Look
and
at that.
See you later.
That's some work to do towards the back end. 2 Sharks defenders coming across, but look at that left foot. Man, takes off, dives, ball in one hand, gets it under the post. That's 2 tries for Hillman. And Brisbane in a really comfortable position as the clock starts to wind down in the first half. Sharks really important for them to try and get more points before the halftime break, just to keep themselves within distance here of the Cobras. Coming off the right foot, space out here on the left-hand side, big diving effort. And the touch has been made. Crystal Meehan going a whisker away from getting the second try on the board for the Sharkies. They attack down this left-hand side of the field again. Ball off the fingertips. Nice little dummy, picks up good metres down the left-hand side of the field. Gabriella Johnson now getting herself into acting half, unloading. Defensive pressure in the midfield here from the Sharks. Had a pressure, penalty I should say. Well, they were trying to put pressure on. They were just that one step too far in front of the referee.
Yeah, the outside link on the subset is really flying in to try to make that touch and take some of the pressure off their own middles. They're just not quite getting their timing right. That's about the second or third penalty I think I've seen on that one so far. As Zara Hagan runs just a little quick release play and is tagged.
Hagan plays it. Nika Tenamu back into the midfield. Salo back to Tenamu playing lateral, but they've created the overlap. They've got the space in the numbers. Nice ball movement. They shifted left. They put it in the hands. They came back and shifted right. And the South Queensland defence just collapsed on them. They got the 2-on-1. They finish it off in the corner. And
it's a good little piece of chess work here because you could see that the Cobras have just gone, okay, let's take the ball all the way left, get the Sharks defence moving hard to their right, and then from the roll ball, a quick turn and deliver, and then through the hands, out to the wing, and the Cobras are cruise mode.
6-1 on the Pain Away scoreboard. Brisbane looking the goods in this semi-final. Clarkson will dish from half yet again. Phillips offloads as well. No space out here on the left-hand side of the field. Robinson plays it, steps back in. They're going across the a little bit of space there. Put the brakes on Campbell Phillips. Brisbane come out of their end of the field. Just over a minute left before the halftime break. What a first half performance we've seen from this team. They're going the right way about booking a grand final spot later on this afternoon. Still 20 minutes to play in the second half and a couple minutes left here in the first. They got numbers out here on the left-hand side. Just couldn't find the final target. There was enough mustard on that one out to the wing. Would have crossed over.
As they've earned the penalty here as well, but you could see the difference as the Cobras came peeling off the bench. The Sharks link that has been penalised a couple of times, they haven't flown in, and then suddenly there's all sorts of pressure on the Sharks middles, and if the pass had been able to find the right player, the Sharks are again in trouble. So they're just kind of caught between the two, between execution of what they want to achieve to shut something down, and then that one isn't quite working for us, so let's do something different, and then they just get opened up. So as there's a turnover here, but there's not really enough time here for the Cobras to achieve much of anything. But really strong performance so far by the Cobras, but that's only one half.
Still got another 20 to go, as you mentioned, Des, but it's a pretty strong start to get themselves potentially into the grand final here. The Brisbane Cobras well in front and on top of the South Queensland Sharks. The halftime score in the 16-girls semi-final is Brisbane 6 over the South Queensland Sharks 1.
More of the same from the Cobras, and I think they'll coast through to the final here.
Second half back underway. We'll give a quick score update in the second semi-final. Going into the halftime break, the CQ Bulls and the Sydney Scorpions are locked up at 3 tries apiece. So much closer contest in the second semi-final. 3-3 between the Central Queensland Bulls and the Sydney Scorpions. Winners of both matches going through to the grand final later on this afternoon, which will be broadcast through KO Sports. Make sure you stay tuned to all the action. Coming up after the 16 girls semi-final, we have the 18 boys semi-final. It'll be the Queensland Secondary Schools team taking on, let me find my sheet, the CQ Bulls. That's going to be an absolute corker. The second semi-final in the 18 boys will see the, my apologies, it's the Brisbane City Cobras taking on the CQ Bulls in the game that we'll broadcast through here as we see the Sharks go down the sideline. Good touch on the boot. So 18 boys first semi-final, the Cobras taking on the CQ Bulls, and the Queensland Secondary Schools will be taking on the Hunter Western Hornets in the second semi-final. So stay tuned. We'll have the 18 boys semi-final coverage coming up after our 16 girls semi-final here between the Cobras and the Sharks. It's pretty enterprising though. Nice little play down the sideline there from the Sharks. So they have come out with a little bit more intent, but the Cobras are responding nicely with good meters there. Cameron Bray and getting them right on the front foot.
She found the weak point in that defensive line as it was and just blasted into the hole and drove hard. That was really impressive. That's what you like to see from your players. That gives your team a real lift.
Well, they've tried to go down the substitution side of the field again. Coming in field and then rocketing that ball down the sideline. It has been pulled up as a forward pass from the referees. So we're leaving penalty. Oh, a little bit of space having to get on the skates to get across there. Caitlin Teakle almost coming up with the goods on the first play of the set for Brisbane. Blade sends it back in field. And then the short side coming against the grain. Nice touch. Looking for the quick play of the ball. Isabella Nasalio. Comes back out to the 7-metre line. With space in the middle, taking a right to the line. But a nice defensive play coming up and making the touch, forces the touch and pass penalty.
Yeah, Blade needed to straighten up just a little bit there. I think she's ended up running virtually straight at the defender. If she straightens a line a fraction more, forces that defender to actually have to make a decision, I think they might very well have opened them up. Ooh. But a great drive again here by the Sharks.
Yeah, there's definitely more energy here from the Sharkies than it was Natalia Hickling, who finished the set off, but the play before,
it was Hickling as well. It was Hickling as well. She did the drive and then had the little opportunity on the wing as well to finish it off. But that was more. That's what you'd like to see from your players, is that real drive. As you see it again, here's the Cobras around the shooting defender, driving into where the rest of the defence are, and now you're staggered, and now you're on the back foot.
Last touch, losing the count. One to make here. Elias gets in between, tries to throw it in, ball down, correct call as well.
Yep.
Came off the body. One of the South Queensland Sharks players, not intentionally played at. Nice officiating from the referees. As the changes start to flow on around the back here for the Sharks. Took a little while for the acting half to get into position. Just getting over the halfway line now. Jacobson straightens up the point of attack nicely. All play it down on the deck and a heavy fall as well.
Oh, she's whacked her head into the deck there. That has really hurt.
Up on her feet. She's a bit groggy. That's Annika Tinamu there. Just tripping over, but yeah, head banged straight off the grass. So just looking a little bit ginger as she gets into the interchange area. Yeah, holding onto the melon as the medical staff now come across to assess her.
And that was she just lost her feet as she's running backwards and just, but yeah, hopefully she gets looked at. I don't know that we'll see too much more of her, I would think. She's got a bit of a headache and definitely showing signs of a concussion of some sort.
Space out here on the left-hand side of the field. The Sharks. Oh, yeah. I was just about to say they look quite deep but separated from the right winger and link on this side, and they just didn't really seem like they were ready to go off the restart. First touch, there's space out here, looping ball. This gives a little bit of extra time for the cover defence to come over and make the touch.
Clarkson flying up in defence on this time, trying to make up for the error because she took her eye off the ball as it was coming in. She was already looking to where she was running before she had the ball in the hands. And there's a blind pass out onto the left wing that the wing is not quite ready for that one. Not a lot of space to go through there anyway. But for some reason, we'll roll the ball about 3 metres back from the 7 metres. And let's go.
South Queensland again. Just starting to look a little bit fatigued. That's a better run coming forward. Players offside. No, the on-field referee is happy.
Another Cobra on the deck. Just tripped over her own feet as well.
Tanami still down on her haunches in the interchange area. Does have medical staff with her at the moment. The Sharks. Good field position here to try and get their second try on the board. And diving in at the line. Touch has been made there on Summer Robinson. Back out to the 7 metre line. Skipping across field, Isdale. She hits the deck as well and forces the mistake in the play the ball.
Not a lot of energy coming out of the box for the Sharks either here. They're all pretty much just hands on hips. Just having a couple of little conversations amongst themselves, but it's very flat for the Sharks. This game is not beyond them. As 7 minutes into the second half and there's been no score, that means that they've steadied up a little bit in defence. They just need to find some sort of spark in attack, something that will open them up. And it's going to be hard running. It's going to be doing the hard things and getting your head down and just going, I'm going to run hard and get a defender to turn their shoulders, do something that, oh, really? Okay. I was going to say holding on to the defender. Bit of a hooking penalty. Okay. So that's a hard touch. It's not one that you see a lot penalised, but basically what they're saying is that drop the shoulder into the defender and held on to try to hold them into the space. So grab the jersey or something to hold them in that little bit of space and win the contest of the roll ball. The Cobras have got the ball here. If they can get it through their hands, they're in a real threat. But really good work there by the winger from the Sharks to close down the space out on that side. 2 touches in a row. Well done.
What to make here for the Sharkies in defence. Almost slipping in between. And the diving effort to shut that one down. Final play. Nice defence as well. Half chance of getting into the in-goal area. Brisbane down the sideline they go. Sharkies now start to crab towards the midfield. Off the fingertips, nice take by Grace Jacobson. Who slides across, almost getting on the outside of one defender, did. And push the extra pass. Penalty here to Brisbane for the touch and pass. Good meters on one. Yet again, Lily Neal has been a meter reader for the Brisbane Cobras throughout this game. Gabrielle Blade out onto the park with Cameron Bray. Comes off the right foot, tries to link back up with Blade in the midfield. Penalty here to Brisbane. Full set of 6. More pressure, but yeah, as you mentioned, scoreline hasn't been troubled in the second half. So it's a positive that they can take away so far, that they've kept the scoreline to 0.
Yeah, and it's not really that the Cobras have stepped down that much at all anyway. Like, there's a player being called out offside there. And Cameron Bray's just having a bit of a dig at the line to see if it's the right player. But, yeah, it's not that the Cobras have really slowed down too much. They haven't really taken their foot off the accelerator, but the Sharks have just steadied. And those little errors that were in defensive reads that were letting in before in the first half are not really happening now, as we see another really good touch there by Crystal Meehan. But they really need, it's their attack right now. As there's a changeover, it's their attack. They need to really put their head down and just work hard. They've got 10 minutes left in the tournament. They just need to put their head down, run hard, try and grind something out.
Jacobson from half. It's been a little bit all the same, their attack in the second half. A little bit more running this time around, showing it. Now we got to get it down on the deck. They do. Pick up and go from half, but they're numbered out here on the left-hand side of the field. And the touch is made on Reece Rigby. But like I said, much more positive set there for them. And it just took a little bit of ball movement, a little dummy, got him on the front foot. Good clean play the ball. They probably just chose the wrong option in the end. They were well numbered up out there on the left-hand side of the field. Space here for Cobras. Down their left-hand side, Jin. Picked up good metres. Will get herself into the acting half position. Offloads to Natalia Elias. A little bit unsquare on the play of the ball. Referees say play on. Bulls hit the deck and goes back to the South Queensland Sharks. They'll head over to their interchange area yet again.
They've got their heads down. There's players coming on, but there's a turnover again. So they just get just enough of a spark and an ability to start building some momentum. And a penalty now for an additional 10 metres for dissent from the box. That's a frustration penalty. That's all that one is. But they need to recognise that it's their own play that's got them into the position they're in this game. They need to find a way to get out of the position they're in.
Equal turns the ball back over. Score update in the second semi-final between the Central Queensland Bulls and the Sydney Scorpions. Still locked up. It's 4 tries apiece now. 3-all at halftime. 4-all is the score. Second semi-final between the Central Queensland Bulls and the Sydney Scorpions. Keep an eye on that to see who is going to go through to the grand final. Potentially taking on the Brisbane Cobras as it stands at the moment. We're up 6-1 on the Painaway scoreboard. Better running from the Sharkies. They're happy to play on there, the referees.
There's a bit of a blind pass, just sort of threw it over the shoulder, which you do tend to see a little bit of at this level. Just hoping that a supporting player was there to make the catch and run through, and she's got the ball and just kind of went, well, surely that was a touch pass? No? Okay, I'll keep running. And then was caught. But that's much better. Like that, it's a blind pass, but it's that little bit of desperation, but it's the run part which is the good part of what they've just done.
Cruising upfield yet again, Brisbane. Gabrielle Blade picking up from half. Bray turns it back into Blade. Sharky shut it down. Still plenty of time, 6.5 on the clock. They need to get some points here, the Sharks. Just to get a little bit more momentum into the game. They've definitely got a little bit more energy as we see them try to run a nice little set piece coming out of the box. We've seen that already in the second half. Yeah,
and we were talking at halftime that it really did look like it was a set play. And you could see them trying to set that one up there. They couldn't quite get the handling right on it, so the execution broke down. But it's clearly something that they've been practicing, and it's a really good way to open up a gap that teams might not necessarily expect.
So we'll pick up and go from half. Well numbered out here on the left-hand side of the field. Huge defensive battle here in the second half between these two teams. There's pressure coming on. Yeah, penalty.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky, this one. This is one where they've got their timing right for their shooting structure in defence, but because they've done a good job making the touch on the previous play, the roll ball is slower, and now your timing's out of whack, and now you're offside. And she's tried to pull herself out of the way of the defender, but here's another turnover in the middle third of the field.
You might have just caught a glimpse there on your screens previously of Annika and Tinamu, who went down with that head knock. Just doing one little final test, but she's sitting back down in the interchange area. Also Charlie Nicola, who we saw throughout the first half. And she's sitting the rest of this second half game out as well. Too sure she's picked up a little niggle, or they're wrapping her in cotton wool for the grand final later on this afternoon. Sharks off the turnover, coming out of their end of the field yet again. And Robinson on the first touch. It was Grace Jacobson, my apologies, in the number 7 for the Sharkies. Better coming out of the substitution box this time around. They're in fairly decent position. Final touch. And caught in possession.
Oh, offside.
Get the penalty.
That one hurts. That's just annoying.
You got your coach's hat on there, Des.
Oh, yeah. It's fifth touch. You're up by a lot. Don't give them more opportunities. Just execute, please.
Still diving the line. Talia Hinkling. She's looked quite elusive for the Sharkies in the second half.
Yeah, she's had some real good drives, some good run. All the three Sharks wingers have actually been very, very good. It's the middle part of the field, their middles and links, that have they've been trying hard, but they really haven't been that creative. As we see a little sweeper come around, and we might get in here. Oh, that was close.
I think she might have. Oh, they're going to point to the spot. Well, I thought she almost gave herself up there, Summer Robinson. As soon as she put the ball down, had a little sneaky look up at the sideline referee to say, "You're going to take this one away from me? Let's have a look." Nah, I'm happy with that, and I reckon there's a solid issue. We're going to have a look at the sideline ref. Have another look at the reverse angle.
Yeah, I think she's worried a little bit about the inside defender as well. So it's a little Cindy play, a little middle down for Link, but the other middle wraps around and sweeps around onto the short side, and with momentum and speed against the player that is trying to get back on side, and she was able to dive in low, and that's the first try the second half with only just about 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, if there's a positive that they can potentially take away, it is 1-0 in the second half in favour of the Sharks. Nice and deep off the restart. Still fighting to the very death, South Queensland, and as you see often after scoring a try, it just peps you up just that little bit more, doesn't it? Even though they're still down by 4, they're going to play right through to the final whistle. Just over 2 minutes left on the clock. Late pass, pushed it right to the very end. And now that's a little bit more deflating for them. Halloran and taking it right to the defensive line. As Kay Hillman takes it forward on the first touch. Now we see a penalty going to the Sharks. And obviously, comprehensive first half for the Brisbane Cobras, but they haven't managed to trouble the scoreboard in the second. Is that any nervous signs for the coaching staff there, Johnny Burke and Josh Hillman, or they're just happy, or they're game managing here with the handy margin?
I mean, you can see, as you said before, that Charlie Nicholas sitting down, sitting next to Annika Tanamu, just sitting at the back of the box. It looks very much like they're just going through the motions, getting through the 20 minutes. But yeah, you still, you don't want to. Some coaches will want to just coast and, okay, I'm comfortable with what we've got. Let's just save our energy for what we're going to need in the game, in the grand final. But sometimes you really still want to see something positive from your players at every opportunity. And I would like to see them. I would have liked to see them score and be a little bit more positive in the second half, a little bit more lift, or a little bit more energy rather, to just to keep the pressure on. You'd probably want to come out of halftime, score early, then coast in. That's how I would prefer to see it. But that's not me coaching in a semi-final of a National Youth Championships.
You would have seen the two young ladies there previously on screen, Annika and Charlie, just casual as you like, having a little catch-up in the interchange area. 30 seconds left to go. They do create the numbers in the space on the outside, so they're going to finish it off in positive fashion. That helps them just to take that momentum going into the grand final later on this afternoon. They get their first points in the second half, takes the score to 7-2 on the Painaway scoreboard.
Yeah, a little bit of lack of trust there from the outside link. No need to chase in here. That's Michaela Isdale's the chasing the half. She's got her under control. She doesn't need the link to step in there and help her out. And then suddenly it's player on player, and they've got the extra player outside, and Cobras are able to capitalise. But yeah, pretty comfortable win here by the Cobras, and they'll do well in the grand final. And good luck to them.
Yeah, so they will progress through with a strong performance in the semi-final. Final score 7-2. Brisbane progressing over the top of the South Queensland Sharks now in the second semi-final. At the last call, we're just waiting to hear the final result. It was still locked up at 4 tries apiece between the Central Queensland Bulls and the Sydney Scorpions. So we will find the final result between those two teams and bring that through.